Alright, what's up guys, it's Mature Deity, and they just announced the two new characters, the specialty change for Glenn, and the new ML5, which is going to be the Pirate Flan, who is looking very, very cool. She looks amazing. I will probably very likely pull for her, but I will also be building Glenn, so I'm just going to go over the skills real quick and give like my initial thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and mute them. And I'm just going to kind of... So I think Glenn will be a usable character if you want him to be. I guess I can play the little beginning part if you guys want to see it. And hear the voice lines, but I think he'll be usable.
Think I look cooler than before?
If you want, I might build him try to use for Amelia. And you can one-shot Rem, because you can build him like 270 speed with 50 crit chance on super high damage, and he gabs, and gets bonus damage. So, like I said, I'll go through it all. So one of the big change with him, usually all specialty change units get one change to one of their skills, so this one is just going to be getting, or whenever they use their skill 3, they're going to get extra critical hit chance, but they already get greater attack buff. So he's a 3-star unit, he has lower base stats than, say, a 4-star or 5-star unit. So overall, the greater attack buff isn't like getting greater attack buff on a 5-star character, but it's still enough to, I mean, greater attack buff is huge, so it's still enough with all of his abilities to probably one-shot, especially any water unit in the game easily, if you build him even semi-decently. So I know he'll definitely have some usability in Arena for sure. I know I could use him in Arena, but in terms of RTA, I'll try to see what I can do with him, but there's going to be better picks, I feel like, but who knows, maybe he ends up being a really good staple to the RTA meta. So his runes overall, we have the increased attack by 357, so that's already a good attack increase into his base attack, so that then gets multiplied by greater attack buff. He gets extra health for survivability, so it could be nice because a lot of the times whenever you draft him, if you use him, they're going to pick Polytus or something into you very likely, or Celine now that counters the non-attack skill. So if they do pick one of those in and you have to pick a unit to go and try to kill the Polytus before Glenn takes a turn, that's going to be the biggest issue with Glenn, is if you do end up building him on 50 crit chance or 35 crit chance if you know you're going to be attacking a water unit, which that's going to be very hard to do. You have very optimized gear. The problem with that is going to be if he doesn't get to rip his S3 and get that greater attack buff and the crit chance, like, he's going to do nothing. So he's going to have to be a late pick unit in an RTA draft. And whenever using him in Arena or Guild War, Guild War and Arena, I definitely see him succeeding very well in, because extinction is fantastic in those two. But like, and the dual attack chance doesn't really matter. So the thing with the dual attack chance, like, once you rotate out of his turn, if he does get a kill, he will extend his buffs, which is really nice. You'll have Gab and additional crit chance until he rotates back to his S3 again. If you do get a kill on that skill, which most of the time you will, it's gonna do enough damage to kill pretty much anything. And he does have additional increased hit chance here, which is 5% for your whole team, which is something if you do decide to use him as like a unit to target dodge characters, you can put Misha on him and get all the way up to like a 40% chance, I do believe, because he has innate 15% on his S3 plus this 5% is 20, and then the artifact would add 20, so you could get about 40% hit chance out of him overall if you really want to, which isn't too bad. You can maybe mix with some other stuff like other artifacts, and I think Phyllis, or there's another character I think that gives a chance, maybe only to herself, but you could probably get it higher, but I don't think that's going to really be his gimmick. I think he's there to one-shot extinct a water unit. And maybe the thing is, a character like this in the future always has the potential to just get better too. When attacking Isomonts, also here you see you get extra 25% damage as long as it's not a leader boss monster. I mean, this is a strictly PvP unit. I mean, you could probably still use him in PvE, but he's designed for PvP and always has been. So I think it could be pretty good. Next up, we have limiter release. This is the skill, but what he gets on this has a 100% chance to dispel one buff from the caster. I don't really care for this. This is pretty much the exact same as the new Lilibet buff. It's like whenever you're using Glenn, like, look, there's a Sea Lilies on the enemy team. Alright? Do you see the issue here? That Sea Lilies took turn 1, he has attack down on him. But guess what? If you were in not Arena, so he'll be, like I said, fine in Guild Wars and that, but see the Sea Lilies here? Guess what? Your Glenn's provoked. You cannot shake off the debuff with that when you're provoked. And most debuffs that you're going to get, or turn 1, are going to stop you from taking your turn, meaning your Glenn will be essentially useless, because you're not building a Glenn faster than Sea Lilius. And if you are, you're wasting your gear. You can build something else better. So that's my opinion on him. I don't think he'll be I don't think he'll fit the RT meta too much, but he seems like a very fun character. I think they did a decent job with him. He will serve his purpose. He will be usable for sure. I'm gonna really push the limits on him. I don't know when he comes out actually. I'm gonna have to see. If he comes out tonight, I need to farm my grass expeditions, or not grass expedition, grass. What's it called? So here's his S1 grass. What are they called? Spirit altars. There we go. I need to farm a bunch of that. So rapidly shoots the enemy. This is S1 with 35% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns. That decreased defense really good. That's really nice. But the thing with that is, I don't know who you're going to decrease defense on in the current, and I don't know. It could have some potential. It's a low chance though. It's the only problem. 35. So he also only has 110 base speed, so he's not very fast. That was like one of the main things. If Glenn would have had like 120 base speed, he would be nuts. I think he would be fantastic with this buff. But since he's only a 110 base speed unit, a little rough to build him, not gonna lie. After using Quickfire, increased combat readiness, so he is able to give himself a 50% combat readiness boost every time he S1s. So I'm sure someone is like, oh my god, I can put him on counter set. Good luck if you do that, I guess. And the next one is Unity Rune, increase hit chance of Quickfire. So as S1, you can increase his hit chance very high. You can increase it all the way up to, this is 15% plus the additional 5% passive in his rune tree is 20. And then with the artifact, well, I guess it ends up being the same as S3. It can go all the way up to 40% if he's an artifact. So he has a high chance on both of his skills that actually attack to, on his skill 2, the extinction skill, and his skill 1. So both have high chance to hit dodge characters if you really want to. You can put him on Guiding Light to kind of dodge out of Violet and use him as a Violet killer. That's one option. You can put him on Iron Fan to do Omega damage. So finally, maybe you could use Iron Fan if you want to use him against Amelia. Like, nobody really picks SSB too often, and if they did pick SSB, they would just ban Glenn. So, and no one uses SSB hardly on Guild War defense past a certain point. So, overall, Glenn seems pretty cool, but I don't think he's broken. He's a balanced character. Does anyone know when he comes out? Because it doesn't say. I think he does release tomorrow, actually. I think on the update tonight, you can start a specialty change. So that's going to be Glenn. But now the awesome part, the part I'm most excited for. All right, you ready? We are going to watch this. So I'm going to mute, or I'm going to turn on the thing. Where is she? She's coming up. She's coming up. I will find her. Here it is.
Need to pay up.
All right, I'll skip it back a few seconds. So here she is, Pirate Captain Flan. Dude, she looks so good. Her voice lines are good. Everything about her is good. Her skill kit's fun. It's unique. I think she might be a little strong. Okay. I'll explain why.
I'm just going to get right into this PV.
Here we go.
And we will see you guys in just a bit.
I'm so excited, dude. I hope I get her.
If you want to pass through here, you're going to need to pay up. If you want to pass through here,
dude, it's so clean. And then this little scene right here, which is, dude, it looks so good.
What made you hop aboard my ship? Money.
She looks so good. Okay, let's go ahead and skip into her skills and everything. So going in, so she, as you see, she has a passive, and her self imprint is attack percent. Her AOE imprint is health percent. And you'll see why it's attack percent here shortly. So here are her base stats. So 114 is 114 base speed, which isn't great, but isn't terrible. I'll explain why 114 isn't a huge deal later. 1182 attack, that's very high attack. That's solid. Her health is okay. Her defense is actually okay. All the stats are good. I mean, she's them all 5. So what do you expect? 18 effectiveness. She will need effectiveness. I mean, maybe she won't need it, but I'm going to build mine on effectiveness most likely. Because I'll explain how I'm going to build mine here soon, if things work the way that I think they do. So going into this, her skill 3, so increases the attack of the caster for 2 turns and attacks all enemies with a barrage of cannon fire, inflicting burn and planting a bomb for 2 turns, before decreasing combat readiness by 25%. Increase this combat readiness cast by 50%, okay? So she is a cycling maniac. She's going to add so much cycling to your turn and push back to the enemy team. Already, you want effectiveness for the bombs, the burn, and the combat readiness. So those 3 things in mind, you already want effectiveness for all of them. So, but the thing is, she increases her own attack, which increases bomb damage, and it increases burn damage. Already, like, her kit works. It's actually a proper skill kit. It doesn't not make sense. So that already means she's probably going to be overpowered, because seems like they use their brains to design the character. for once. So of the caster for 2 turns and attacks all enemies with barrage of cannon fire, inflicting burn and planting a bomb. So you get 1 burn, 1 bomb, AoE there. Before decreasing cover is 25%. Okay. So, and the caster, so you push them back and push yourself up, meaning that if you're fast enough, you might just end up taking another turn in front of them. If you push them all back and push yourself up, and your chance you might cut in there. So that's already pretty damn strong. The thing is, she doesn't strip though. So as you see, she doesn't strip. But the thing is, in the current meta, right now, guess what? No one uses immunity hardly anymore. So depending on how you draft her, like as a late pick unit, then you can get away with it guaranteed that if you draft her into units that you know are going to be on Pensa, like a Ravi and stuff like that. But otherwise, if you draft her early, you have Piera, you have Rand, so this might just make Cleave even stronger. But we're about to have 2 pre-bans in RTA, so we'll see how that goes. She'll definitely be amazing in Arena. Like you can see right here, she gets her increased attack before everything goes down. Okay, and then they have extra burns in this thing because I think the carrot already took her turn, right? So they had burns like immediately, which was kind of a bad thing. I want to look back at this, make sure I'm not, yeah, they're already burned. So I wish they wouldn't have had the carrot go first, but they used the carrot, I guess, as a stripper, which is just, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what this showcase is. I don't think that's a realistic representation of what this could be, but okay. So our skill 2, SSB passive, redirects 30% of damage suffered to the caster to the foremost ally. So that's SSB passive, means that she's going to be able to stay alive very, very easily, and that's really, really nice. So when more than 1 damage sharing effect is granted, only strong is applied as per everything in Epic 7. After using execution on the caster turn, which is her S1, which we haven't seen yet, which we'll get to that. When the caster has a buff, activates Hunt. So if she has her own attack buff that she got, she will activate Hunt, which Hunt raises morale of all allies. That doesn't matter. Increases combat risk by 10%, up to 15% once it's molded. So every time she S1, she can boost your whole team 15% up. That's very good. And her skill 1 is very good too with that. So I definitely think she's gonna be meta. There's no way this character is going to be bad. I refuse to believe it, but I think she's going to be broken if you have the Caesarea artifact. Hunt can only be activated once every 2 turns. So that is one thing with this. You can't continually spam this because her S1 has a soul burn. I'll go ahead and skip forward. Her S1 has a soul burn to where she can take an additional turn. So with that, you can't soul burn, do it again, and get an additional buff. You would have to do 2 cycles of that. But it's still worth soul burning your S1, especially if you're on the Caesarea artifact, if things work how... We don't know how it's going to work out yet, but we'll see. But you can see right here, see, she'll S1, she'll push her allies up, and then it'll detonate the bomb. And her S1, that's what it does. It detonates any bombs on the opponent. So I do need to go back and look at the overall turn, how many turns it takes to cycle back into skill 3. But, so here's the execution though. You can consume 20 souls to take an extra turn, just like Caesarea or whoever on their S1. But she doesn't get a free soul burn. And also, you got to remember, her bombs won't do as much damage as Caesarea, potentially, because she doesn't have that S2 innate 50% attack boost. So she won't have, like, insanely high attack, because you do want to build a little bit of bulk on her, most likely. So her bombs likely won't be as strong as Caesaria's, but if you can mix the 2 characters together somehow, I think it's going to be insane. But attacks the enemy with a gun, and at the end of the turn, detonates bomb and bomb effects inflicted on the target. So everything else will happen before the bomb explodes. So just know if you attack a unit that is on counter set, or everything else, the bomb is not going to blow up until every other effect has procced. So just keep that in mind. So if you attack something that cleanses, and it cleanses the bomb, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Delbet can't cleanse bomb because it's turn reduction, but you can cleanse bomb. So just be careful on that. That is one thing that you might have to watch for. But detonates burn and bomb effects. So you can mix her with units like Carrot, anything that places burns, so you can maybe get some synergy there. I don't know if you'll do ML Quazu. I mean, his only burns usually kill the opponent immediately. But overall, she detonates everything, which does insane damage. So if you do her S3, push back, and then she gets pushed forward, she can S1 and then blow up everything. And this damage dealt, I believe, on her Mola, she's a unit that might be able to get away with lesser Mola, too, because this damage dealt is the damage from the skill, not from the detonate. So I'm really excited, because if I can pull an ML5 that I don't have to plus 15, that'll be so, so nice. And I will explain the last part real quick as to why I think she'll be really strong. So as you see, when you shoot, The Caesarea artifact has her thing is when you make a non-critical hit with a single attack, it has a X amount chance to plant a bomb on the opponent. So with that in mind, her base crit chance is only 15%. So you're going in as a gamble in that sense, but I still feel like it's going to be the best. Let me know down below what your opinion is on the artifact choices. But whenever you have the Caesarea artifact that plants a bomb whenever you make a single target hit, and say you perfectly build her to not have any crit chance, since it detonates bombs at the end of the turn, you will place the bombs on them right when you S1 with the artifact. So the bomb that you place should detonate right after, meaning that if you have soul burn or souls for S1, you can snipe multiple units on that same, or like in just back to back. You can hit one unit that maybe already has a bomb on it, detonate it, and maybe place a second bomb, and then it'll detonate all the burns and stuff you did from S3. And if you soul burn, you can cycle into another one and possibly just kill 2 units just out of the gate for free. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So I think that's going to be the best in slot artifact. Guiding Light would be good too because she can hide, but the thing is she has damage transfer. So as long as you build her kind of decent in terms of bulk, you should be fine. I'm going to go back to her skill 3 real quick and look over 2 quick things, but these are my initial impressions. I'm curious how everyone else is thinking on her. I think she's going to be a very, very good hero. She will be situational at least, so I don't think you can just throw her down just like you can see Lilius and ML Cowrick and things like that. I think she is at least more balanced in that sense, but hopefully I'm right, but I could be wrong. She might just be another terror to the game like Angel, Blind, Angelic, and everything else. So you're going to go ahead, and my build, I'm going to focus mostly on just flat attack. I'm going to do a little bit of bulk because her bulk, it's okay, it's not terrible. And then I'm going to try to hit 0 crit chance, 0 crit damage, and all the rest goes into effectiveness. So if I can get, I would just say 150 effectiveness, I'll be happy. 150 effectiveness, try to aim for like 4k attack might be kind of hard without getting crit chance, crit damage. I'm going to have to farm Wyvern to get some brand new gear. And for the speed, I would prefer to be like 250. So, and then whatever else I can get in bulk from there, it'll be fine. The thing is she gives herself attack buff, so if you can't get high enough attack, you can get away with quite a bit, and she'll still do fantastic damage, I have a feeling, because when you detonate multi-turn effects. So if you have a 2-turn burn, you do 2 different instances of burn damage per burn, and bomb gets 1 bomb damage. So I think she'll still do perfectly fine damage even if you can't reach too high on that. But I'm not sure how fast to build her. Still, I'm not sure a lot of different things on, but if the artifact for Caesarea works how I think it will, I think that's going to end up being just best in slot. And I only have one of them is a bad thing. So the last thing I wanted to see, though, like I said, was this is a 5-turn ability that once you mull it, it goes down to 4 turns. So you use that, you get a 50% CR cut up, and if you have souls, you can soul burn once, and then you can rotate back into this, and she also boosts herself 15% every 2 turns on her S1. So I think with this being on a 4-turn, you'll be able to cycle back into this pretty quickly. But if you get 2 of this skill 3 off, I think you win the game no matter what. So that's pretty damn strong. All right, but that's all I got for this. We have new mock battle stuff. I haven't even watched the full rest of the stream. I just wanted to do a video over these 2 units real quick. And those are my opinions. I think Glenn will be okay. He'll be usable for sure. And I think Pirate Captain Flan is going to be very, very strong. But I don't think broken. I'm really hoping that the balance team is actually balancing characters and they're not going to make this thing too overpowered to where no one wants to play the game anymore. Like everyone's been complaining nonstop lately. It's been obnoxious. So it's the time that I enjoy the game the most, that everyone's complaining about that everything being too strong. And it's just the way that it is. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe. That'd be amazing. It's been Mitchell or Deity, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.